Welcome to Leadership for the Future, episode number 62, believe it or not, Warrior, Scholar, Sage, where every single week we get together right here on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to explore the psychology and the strategies to help you massively and powerfully lead both your life and your business. I want to welcome you for tuning in. Please weigh in down below if you're on Facebook and say hello. Tell me where you're from. I always enjoy seeing that. Also, you can comment on Instagram, as many of you did last week. Do that as well. I really appreciate it. And you can reply on Twitter. Now, let me just ask you why people are filing in here and kind of getting settled. A question. Do you realize that right now, you and I live in the most lucrative entrepreneurial window of all time? Are you ready to grab your piece of the pie? Are you ready to finally create what you desire and deserve? Well, check this out. Here's something that might astound you. Do you also know that 30% of the billionaires in the entire world were created in just the last 4 years? 30%. It gets even better than that though, because 11% of the entire billionaires in the world, let me turn my ringer off here, in the entire world were created in the last 12 months. Now, that's pretty exciting, isn't it? And when you research, here's what's even more exciting, because if you know anything about me, it's not all about the money. When you research how these billionaires are making themselves become a billionaire, are making the money, some really interesting themes start to emerge. There's a common theme among all these new billionaires. And there's never been a window of opportunity ever before in our history, and it might not be here again, like there is right now. So if you're interested in grabbing your piece of the pie, let me just invite you to join me tonight in a live online web class at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You have to register on Facebook. The link is right here above my head. On Instagram, once again, you're going to have to go to my bio. On Twitter, it should be right here also. So if you'd like to know how to grab your piece and step into this most lucrative window of opportunity that the world has ever seen, and what the common theme is of all these new billionaires that have been created in the last 4 years and 12 months, join me tonight and I'll tell you exactly what that is. And I think it's going to shock you. I think it's going to shock you what is coming down the pike and what experts are telling us we must do to seize that opportunity. Now, over the last several episodes, we've been talking about how to live a long and healthy and vibrant life. And we've been doing that actually for the last several episodes. But before I get into the content, I want to just do a brief shout out to all of you who shared last week on Facebook. It really means a lot to me. You can retweet on Twitter. Please do, if this touches you. And on Instagram, I believe you can regram or invite. But real quickly, let me just do a shout out to Rob Genius. Thank you, Rob. Lana Monday, Paul Campbell, Christine Lewis Anderson, Anthony Rogers and Andrew Rogers, Russ Letow, Tommy Allen Rains. Hey, Tommy, thank you so much for referring your friend to me who's attending the leadership experience, and I hope you'll join him. Nancy Winters, Alexandros Farmakis, Nora Jones, Jay Lee, Pranav Honreo, Kristen Branca, Complete Health and Wellness, Gratitude 24/7, 365. That's a great name. We Are All One, Sandy Arango. Sandy, I'll see you in Vegas in a couple of weeks. Tracy Bauer, Joel Williams, Nisa Harpin, Nicola Jenkins, Kristen Sasser, Cottonwood Stone, Lakita Powell. Cottonwood, I'll see you next week. Sweetheart, Trinette Ingram, thank you so much for sharing, and please keep it up. Help me, help you, help those that you love and care about. Did I miss one? Oh, Nancy Winters. Sorry, Nance. I'll see you next week, too. Forgive me. I just accidentally moved over that one too quickly. Now, again, we've been talking about the importance of living a long and healthy life. Why? Because if you can't live long enough, you won't be able to do enough. Now, I know that makes sense to you. So it's my charge to you to live long so that you can make a tremendous impact. Now, we're going to continue this exploration of extending a healthy, vibrant life here today. And I just want to put a warning out here right here in advance. You know, if you know much about me, if you're joining me for the first time, let me introduce you to me. If you've been around for a while, you kind of know how I am. I'm not very politically correct. All right, I just don't tend to be very PC. I believe we're way too PC in today's world, and everything is offensive in some way to somebody. And we got to toughen up. But that being said, I'm going to probably push some buttons today. And those of you who have been around for a while, you're like, what else is new, right? I'm going to possibly piss some people off today. So if you have thin skin or you want soft and cushy, I respect that. I really do. I respect that. And you probably, with all due respect, you could go find someone who wants to talk about angels and incense and comfort and ease. Because I'm here for the leaders. I'm here for the warriors. I'm here for those of you, and you, if you are one of those, who are willing and ready to be honest, to be self-aware, to stand up and step up, do the work, and get uncomfortable. So if that's who you are, you're in the right place at the right time today. And let's talk about living forever. Because here's the fact. If you can live long enough, you can live forever. Physically. Now, spiritually and energetically, you're already going to live forever because energy can never be created or destroyed. And spirit is timeless. However, literally, if you can live long enough physically, you can live forever. Because I think we discussed this last week, you know, for every single year you live and continue to stay and live in the physical body, science is finding a way for you to live 1 year longer. It's crazy. It's exciting. Now, please understand though, you know, and this is where a lot of individuals are just really getting it wrong. Because what we're advocating here is not living longer at your current level of consciousness and awareness. What good is that? Look at what our current level of consciousness and awareness is creating in the world. The world's in massive transition. It's the most lucrative opportunity right now, but it's in massive transition. A lot of people are in fear and discomfort and doubt and uncertainty. But we've got to evolve our consciousness, and it takes a long time to wake up. So it's not about staying in the body for ego or out of fear, just because we're afraid of death. It's about staying in the physical body as long as we possibly can so that we can grow and evolve to the greatest level of wisdom and awareness that we possibly can. Does that make sense to you? Now look, the universe has one objective, just one. And we know this through scientific studies in astronomy, as well as quantum physics, that the universe has one objective. It's fuller expansion, experience, and expression. Right? The universe is expanding faster than it ever has in world history, and that is what you're a part of, and that's what spirit within you wants to do as well. And so it takes a long time to wake up. And as we discussed in our last episode, by the time most of us start to have enough years to truly wake up and develop wisdom, then our body is wearing out and it's ready to check out. What a waste. What a waste of consciousness and awareness. Are you with me? So, the longer you're physically around, the longer the life force can work through you. Are you with me on this? And so this is a reason you have not an opportunity to live as long as physically possible. You have a responsibility to live as long as you physically possibly can, to bring your gifts of service and value to the world. Because you see, service is the rent that you pay for the gift of life, the privilege of life. Providing tremendous value and service to the world takes time. and lots of it. Are you with me? Now, as we've discussed previously, and I've already mentioned it again today, but I'm going to repeat it again because repetition is the second law of learning and transformation. It takes a lot of years to wake up to a higher, broader state of awareness and develop any amount of wisdom, because wisdom only comes through experience. Some people say knowledge is power. That's horse hockey. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is nothing more than organized data. We're inundated with data. We're inundated with organized data, which is knowledge. The only true power is wisdom, and wisdom only comes when you put knowledge into action, get experience, and you develop wisdom. And so you have a responsibility, in my opinion, to live as long as possible so that you can impact the world in your own unique way, so that you can bring your gifts and genius to the world. And I hope that makes sense to you. Now, last week, we touched on diet and nutrition. And please understand, none of these live casts that I'm doing are meant to be totally, by any means, exhaustive. We're just touching on these in the short amount of time that we have. But let's touch this week on the topic of working out, and exercise. Now look, the bottom line is that your muscles are meant to be used. Period. God, the life force, the creative intelligence, gave you muscles for a reason. They're to be used. Period. How often? Every day. Maybe not the same way every day, but utilized every single day, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And I'm sure you've heard that before. Now, here's a fact. Our current lifestyles are making us weak, overweight, and tired. Is that you? There's no value in lying to yourself. Do you find yourself tired and out of energy a lot? You're doing it to yourself. Take responsibility. Because the only time you're not totally vibrant, vital, and alive is when you're doing something to unplug from the limited source of energy that this entire universe is, and is just waiting, just hoping, just looking to flow through you. And the only reason it can't flow through you is because your vessel sucks. It's always looking for the most available and prepared vessel to flow through. And if you're tired and overweight and out of energy, it's because you've unplugged from your source, and it's your responsibility. Take it. Take your power back. You're doing it to yourself. Don't let your lifestyle make you weak. You know, there's a lot of people running around talking about this beautiful lifestyle where I'm on vacation, I'm drinking margaritas, and I'm kicking back, and I'm taking days off. Weak. Our ancestors didn't do that. Don't let your lifestyle make you weak. You must, get this, and I hope you're taking notes. I really do. You must stress. Yes, I said stress. And stretch yourself to become strong and to access your potential. That's how you grow, is through stress. Oh, I just got to de-stress, James. Now, there's all different kinds of stress, and I'm not going to get into those. There's two different kinds. Look at Hans Selye's research. I'm not going to have the time to dive into that today. But I'm going to suggest to you, as I do to all my clients, that you purposefully seek out the hard and difficult. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because the hard and difficult is where you stress and you grow. Not a popular message, I know. I told you I might push some buttons, particularly if it's the first time you're tuning in, you know. Not a popular message in a world of quick fix and instant fame and easy success. Is your lifestyle There's no value in lying to yourself. Is your current lifestyle making you a warrior or a weakling? You see, recognition is the first law of learning and transformation. When you recognize it and you're honest about it, that's a step in development of self-awareness. Look, do you realize that there are more people that are obese in the United States of America than there are people that are just overweight? More people are obese than that are just overweight. 33% of the men are obese. 36% of the women. Being overweight is a sin. Oh my God. You're not respecting what the Christian traditions call the temple. You're not respecting what the Buddhist tradition, I've studied them all, the Buddhist tradition calls it the precious human body. Let me ask you, how are you treating your temple? Let's be frank. There are people starving on this planet, and you're gorging yourself on way more crap than you need. And you're carrying around 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds of extra food on your body that could be allocated elsewhere. Now, if that pisses you off, good. The truth will set you free. But first, it'll piss you off, said Gloria Steinem. I love that quote. Listen, believe me, I'm not insensitive. I'm really not. I've been overweight. You talk to Bear on the other side of his camera. When she first met me, I was 20, 25 pounds heavier than I am today. I've been overweight. I just woke up, and I stepped up, and I'm here to wake you up. Do you know that one of the greatest secrets, and this has been researched in lab after lab after lab, to living long and healthy is to be malnourished, to be a little bit undernourished. Excess baggage makes you weak, and it's a sin. The main reason, if it pisses you off, look, hopefully you're waking up here. Stick with me. Because if it pisses you off, it's because you think your body is a static entity. We're going to talk more about that on our next episode. You have a fat, static identity. Okay? And you've got to change your identity. It's your fat, static identity that is driving that behavior. Your body is not static. Again, we'll talk more about that next week. I have to reel myself back because you can tell I'm passionate about this topic. Your body is a flowing, changing process. It's not a static entity. It's a flowing, changing process. Write that down. Your body is not a static entity. It's a flowing, changing process. Repeat after me. My body is not a static entity. It's a flowing, changing process. Now, think of your body as a flowing stream. At the quantum level, you were to put, a high-powered microscope on your arm, and you think your arm is solid. It's not solid. It's a mass of molecules and a high rate of vibration. And you put it under a microscope, and you'll see it's busy down there, right? It's a flowing, not static. It's a flowing, changing entity. It's like a stream. Let's use a stream metaphor. Every single thing you put in your mouth affects the stream. It changes the stream. Every single thing. Just like if you were to throw, a Big Mac in a stream. I'm not suggesting this is a good metaphor, but if you were to throw a Big Mac in a stream, would it affect the stream? The ketchup mustard, soggy ass buns. Every single thing you do to the stream changes the stream. Every thought changes the stream. And this is not my idea, this is science. Do you know that every bout of anger you have has a 6-hour residual in the stream? Fact. 6 hours. You get pissed off in traffic, you change the stream for 6 hours. Every morsel you put in your mouth, even the tiniest one. I'm just going to take one M&M. It affects the stream. Every movement that you make affects the stream. Every Coke, every Chuck E. Cheese, every White Castle, every In-N-Out, every deep pan pizza affects the stream. Every emotion affects the stream. Every exercise. Here we come full circle. Changes the stream. Repeat after me. My body is not a static entity. It's a flowing, changing stream. And if it's a flowing, changing stream, the key word is changing. Actually, flowing is good too. Changing. And if you get pissed because you're fat, and I'm calling you out on it, it's because you're thinking you're static. You're not static. You just got to change the flow, and you got to change the input, and you change the stream. You with me? It's just as simple as that. How about, here's my challenge to you. How about doing your part to solve world hunger? Get hungry and go hungry. I'm fasting today. My stomach is like growling right now, and I love it. My stream is going brr, brr, brr. I love it. It's releasing BDNF in my brain. Neuro cocktails. The stream is changing. Go hungry. Affect world hunger. Go hungry. You're not going to die. You'll make a contribution. I'm going to suggest to you once again, as I did earlier, that you purposefully seek out the hard and the difficult, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, because our lifestyles are making us weak in today's world. I mean, really, 33% of us guys are obese. 36% of you ladies are obese. That's a crime. Stress. We talk about stress. I've mentioned it a couple times. Let me tell you, stress is not the enemy. It's not. Stress is your friend. The enemy is lack of recovery. The master and the leader, the true leader. See, this is leadership for the future, guys. We're talking about building a superhuman that can lead his and her own life and thereby change the world. And it starts with you. Osteoporosis. You familiar with this one? You know it affects 55% of the American population over the age of 50 in America. 55% of people over 50 have osteoporosis, bone degeneration. And guess what, ladies? It's higher in women than it is in men. Sorry to tell you. Now, obviously, there are dietary and lifestyle choices that bring on bone degeneration. And one of the leading causes of bone degeneration is lack of loading the skeletal muscles. Bones grow stronger through load, stress. When you load the muscles and you load the skeleton, you grow stronger bones. Now, obviously, again, there's dietary issues here, but a regular weight training regime will positively impact bone degeneration, if not solve it altogether. I refuse to go to an old school doctor who tells me to, quote, take it easy. Just won't do it. I refuse to go to an old school doctor who tells me not to do this or that my body will never regenerate. That's bullshit. Science proves that your body turns over every 7 years, every bone, every cell. You have a brand new body every 7 years. Any doctor who tells you that your body cannot regenerate has lost touch with his studies. That doctor is clueless. I had a severe motorcycle accident in 1988, shattering my left forearm. They completely shattering. They had to put 2 plates and 14 screws in my left forearm. I knocked out both knees. I had herniated discs in, S1, S2 in my neck and L4, L5 in my lower back. And I was messed up. And my doctor at the time, well-meaning, if you're a doctor, I know your intention is good. All of their intentions are good. They're just not staying up with current research. My doctor said to me, James, you'll never ever squat again. Your knees can't take it. You'll never deadlift again. Your back is shot. Might as well face it. Nice, Bear. Might as well face it. You're working out and weightlifting days are over. You just can't do that again. You know what I did? I mustered up one of the greatest teachers from my childhood, my Christian childhood, and I thought to myself, thanks for sharing your limited and completely clueless view. Now, get behind me, Satan. Now, I added the thanks for sharing part, Jesus didn't say that. But he did say, get behind me, Satan. And I added, to myself, you just watch me. You just watch me, because there's a power working through me and through you than anything that's bigger than anything life can throw at you. My body is a stream. So is yours. And guess what? I squatted and deadlifted this morning at 6:30 a.m. Booyah! God bless the underdog. You know what? I'm the champion of the underdogs in the world. Do you ever feel like an underdog? Well, I'm the champion of the underdogs. I'm the dark knight, and I take my darkest nights and I transform them into the light of day. Now, if I seem arrogant right now, I'm not arrogant, not at all. I have been arrogant at times, but life has humbled me again and again and again and again. And now I'm just confident in the power that's working through me that we all have. We all have. And I'm here through my own pain and through my own scars to share it with you. I'm here to challenge you to stand up, to step up, and take your power back. Heart disease. It's the #1 killer in the world and has been for the last 15 years. Heart disease. Now there are physical and metaphysical spiritual reasons for this. And I'm not going to get into the metaphysical spiritual reasons today. But once again, dietary and lifestyle choices contribute to this heart disease physically. And a regular workout regime will thwart this thief. It'll undermine this thief while simultaneously strengthen your heart, which is a muscle, by the way, and it needs to be worked out. It needs to be exercised. Now, in addition to that, studies at Emory University with people in their mid-70s prove that a heavy weight training regime, even in their 70s, and they've never lifted before, will extend healthy life by a vibrant 7 years. 7 years. It's enough for me. You see, here's one of the push some buttons. The old paradigm used to be that running equals health. Not anymore. We've learned a lot. The new paradigm is weightlifting is the fountain of youth. In fact, this might surprise you, research proves that runners get more diseases than non-runners. Now, if you think about our ancestors, the only time they ran was when they were trying to catch food or they were trying to not become food. They didn't run for long periods of time, and they certainly didn't run on concrete. No, it's not natural. It's not natural. You know, running and long, quote, cardio. Here's most people's cardio. Listen, if you can check your text messages and Facebook, and you can tweet and read email, you're not working out. Don't fool yourself. I see it every day at the gym, the treadmill. Oh, I'm working out. No, you're not. I mean, it's better than sitting on your ass, but it's still not working out, all right? But I digress. Running and long cardio create tremendous amounts of free radicals. Are you listening to me? Running and long cardio create free radicals and acid in your system. Both of those things accelerate aging. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't run if my house was on fire. See, Flo wouldn't either. You hear her? I wouldn't run. I really wouldn't. I would calmly and briskly walk out the door. Okay? Now here's a disclaimer, all right? We live in a PC world. Let me make my disclaimer. Obviously, I am not a physiologist, okay? So check with your doctor before you take up any weight training regime, and understand that, you know, he'll give you some input, she'll give you some input, but let me tell you this as well. The latest research says hard and fast is the way to go. Hard and fast. I'm a fan of high intensity training. Going all out, maximum output for a short amount of time. Then recovery. Remember, stress is not the enemy. The enemy is lack of recovery. So go hard, recover, right? It's very effective and it's efficient. I race the clock in the gym. I race the clock. Constantly working to get more and more and more and more work done in less and less and less and less and less time. Okay? If you observe me in the gym, you'll find me quickly moving from one exercise to the next. You know, going to complete failure on one exercise and then immediately going to an opposing body part and going on to complete failure on that body part. That's called supersetting. All right? And it's very intense. It's very effective. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time, so you can have a life. All right? But it's intense. You're breathing like a freight train, right? Because you go do a set of pull-ups and then you go do a set of bench. Boom, boom, no rest. And normally I do 3 sets. I do like pull-ups, bench, abs, rest. Just enough for my heart rate to come back down. And then again, pull-ups, bench, abs, rest. You with me? This not only exhausts the muscles, but as you can imagine, it works the primary muscle, which is the heart, without having to do a lot of long, boring, acid-producing, free radical releasing cardio. Can you tell how I feel about it? I ripped the page called cardio out of my book a long time ago. Free radicals and acids? No, no, no. You're not going to live a long life. Remember, runners get more disease than non-runners. Okay? If you want to live long and vibrant, then keep your acidity low. Well, we can talk more about this next week also. Okay, because this is a really key point as well. Remember, this is not totally comprehensive. We don't have time. Let me do a disclaimer once again. I'm not an exercise physiologist, okay? All right, I've just studied and researched and practiced what I'm sharing with you for going on 3 decades now. That's a while. And it works for me, and it's worked for many of my clients. Do your own research. Do your own work, but at the end of the day, get your body moving. If you want to have more energy, then here's something counterintuitive. You have to give more energy. As you give, you receive. You see, it tells us in many of the mystery traditions that it's a little known secret that you can't pour energy into a vessel that's not giving it off. You want to get more energy? You give more energy. Look, if you like what we've explored here in this brief time together, and it's a benefit to you, then please, just hit the thumbs up or the heart on this episode, and please share with your friends and family, because I happen to believe that this is something that's desperately needed in a world that's becoming weak and warriors of the couch versus warriors of the arena. And we need more true leaders. Now, you want to know about the greatest opportunity that this world has ever seen, certainly in our lifetime? Then click the link above my head and join me for the live web class tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be full. We have a whole multiple hundreds of registrations already. So make sure you get there early and register, and get there early and tune in and bring your notepad, because I'm going to share with you how these new billionaires are doing it. And it's going to surprise you, but I will tell you that they're positively impacting the world. And we'll talk more about that tonight. More to come. I want to thank you for being here. I hope I've given you some things to think about, and more importantly, to act upon. Until we speak again, as always, be a leader. Live your purpose and take your power back.